I want you to picture this. You're getting ready to go to bed. You're ending your night and you're getting ready for the next day. You set your alarm clock. You pick up this little phone. You set it on the nightstand. And then all of a sudden it goes off and it's the next day. You wake up, you pick up your phone and you start wanting to get in that doom scrolling mood. Except now you realize something. Instagram, gone. TikTok, gone. Twitter, X, gone. And now you have no scrolling, no feed to monitor, no updates, no bumper stickers in your face to start your day with. You have none of that. Just complete, utter silence. Just a blank screen on your phone that just tells you the time. Maybe makes a phone call, and that's it. You got to dial a number, make a phone call, text somebody, and that's it. That's all you can do. Now, I want you to think about that and think, how would you react? Or better yet, how would American society react? Knowing just how things are going now, how would we react to complete social media silence? Let's get into this. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and thanks for coming over here and checking this out. If you're brand new to the channel, team, thank you for checking this out. And I hope this topic, and I hope there's something we can learn and engage each other on in this video. Now, if you haven't already, there's a bunch of tabs down below. There's a like tab and a subscribe tab. Please feel free, tap one of those. The subscribe one definitely helps out the channel. It's always appreciated on my end, but I'm more appreciative of your time. And that's the most precious commodity, so at least you're giving me that, so thank you. Now, going forward, additionally, if you go in the description down below, there is cool links. Look in the cool link section. There's literally 2 links. I promise you I won't overwhelm you with multiple links. There's 2 links, all right? One is for the Chaos Shop, where you can go get yourself a cool fancy snapback like this, cool hat, and a lot of other cool Chaos gear in the Chaos Shop. And then, of course, is my Instagram, guys. The Instagram's there because, one, I post a lot of cool content on there that's behind the scenes that probably a lot of you're not going to experience here on YouTube. You know, a lot of it's just more of the short form stuff. Military training, me doing cool stuff with the guys, the team, the soldiers, my family, workouts, just exploring, adventuring. I mean, it goes, I'm all over the place. So feel free to check out the Comfort and Chaos channel on Instagram. And also, though, most importantly, guys, it's there so you can check on me so I can check on you. All right? And that's what we should be doing. Let's make social media great again by checking up on each other. Let's make it more positive. All right? And I think that's everything, right? Producer, did I knock out everything? Were you paying attention? That's everything, guys. Now, we got a great video for you today. We got a great topic of discussion. It's been laying on my mind forever. And now we decided to get a little creative. So let's do this. All right, guys. So check this out. Imagine like we went and knocked out in the intro, but I want you to think for me for a second. All right. Excuse me. Guys, I'm human, all right? Sorry, dude. I had dinner, you know, I'm sipping on my tea still. Anyways, all right, dial it back. All right, so guys, so check this out. I've said this before on multiple videos. Imagine, I feel like what we need, I used to always say, is what we need is like a social media, just, dude, hit the freaking off switch. Cut it all off for just a few days. Just let us breathe. You know, let us breathe. And because we're so bombarded with all this chaos, just all over, politics, news, media, blah, 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 influencers, grifters. I mean, it's just so freaking much, dude. And it just frustrates me. But now I decided, hey, let me do a video. I'm going to come to you guys, and this time we're going to pull up, you know, I got my fancy little laptop here because we're going to go ahead and we're going to ask our good old buddy, Mr. ChatGPT, and we're going to ask them, hey, what would happen if there was a social media blackout for at least a minimum, and because I'm giving everybody credit, a minimum of 3 days, of just what 3 days without social media would look like in America. So let's check this out. Hey, I want you to be real, and I want you to be authentic and deep with your answer, and I want you to be as brutally honest as possible. 100%. Can you do that? Of course, it says, the robots, yeah, we can do that. And then I ask them, okay, so what do you think would happen to the U.S. if there was a social media blackout for literally just 3 days? 3 days. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to go with 3 days. Let me go ahead and read you these answers, okay? So, short answer right off the bat, it responds and says, hey, it wouldn't collapse the country. So that's a good thing. But it would expose just how dependent we are on the noise. I've been saying that forever, guys. You got to watch out with the noise. All right. Validation and digital coordination. And for a lot of people, it would feel way more uncomfortable than they'd expect, which we know that. But see, that's the problem. But let's continue on. Okay, so it breaks it down literally by the day. Okay, so day one. People reach for their phones constantly out of habit. We know this. All right. There's a weird low level of anxiety, like something's missing. So that means people are literally going to be like picking up their phones, waking up, like I said in the beginning, and it's like, oh, wait, what's wrong? And they're going to go into freak out mode, like, I'm not getting my fix. And news consumption drops fast unless people actively seek. Guys, that's what it used to be like. You used to have to go buy a newspaper. You used to have to go online and look at the website. It wasn't just blasted in your face as you're just scrolling, and boom, it's already telling you day one, people are going to be freaking out because news consumption is going to drop. That means no one's going to be watching the news. Or bumper stickers, okay? Influencers, creators, and anyone monetizing attention, immediate panic. Oh boy. Yeah, that means, hey, if you didn't download some of these Comfort and Chaos episodes, guys, you're not going to see some of those reels, which I get it. I'd rather you not watch some of my shorts or reels or any of my short form content, as you're scrolling, because you're living life. Go live life, Go touch some grass. Go do some push-ups. But it's telling you that all these people that you see, all these influencers, everybody that you see all over your algorithm are going to go in panic mode. Why? Because I've already said this. That is like their identity. It's almost like personal leadership doesn't exist anymore. We've lost that, and it's extinct. Very few people still have that. But people, some of those influencers, those creators, they're going to panic. I'll tell you straight up, me, ask me if I'm going to panic. Ask me. I promise you. Ask me if I'm going to panic. I dare you. Comment down below. Hey, will you panic? I'm going to let you guys go ahead and answer that for me. Those of you who've been watching me for a while, been following the channel for a while, you tell me, do you think I'm going to panic? Okay. Let's go on to day two. Day two, that's just the first day. Social media, it's gone. All right. Day two, people are going to start getting annoyed. Boredom is going to start hitting harder and harder. Yes. People are stimulated by this. I've said it multiple times. You guys know, we all are. We're all guilty of it. Literally, we pick this up and we're just like, this is how we kill time. I can't even see people stand in line at a fast food restaurant. Just do an experiment. Go stand in line at a restaurant. Go to a fast food restaurant. Go stand in line. And you're going to watch. Everybody is going to be like this. And then they're going to give their order and go right back. because they're getting their fix. They're getting their stimulation. So boredom now is going to kick in because now what are they going to scroll? There's nothing to scroll. So it makes you kind of wonder. I want you to like put your train of thought into that. Okay. Group chats, texting will spike. Why? Because people need connection. You're going to see more people texting, reaching out. Why? Because they need that notification tab to go off. They need that little ding. Oh, you got something. So they got to pull out their phone. They got to feel important, and that's what's sad. It is. It's sad, Go talk to your neighbor. Go talk to people at work. Go engage somebody. Go ask somebody how they're doing. Engage in a conversation, something. That's how you build real connection. Not through this, but just in day 2, people are going to start going through a little pandemic of boredom. And because they're not feeling connected, because this has been their only source of connection and social interaction. So now they're going to be hitting up texting people, group texting, and they're going to get some feedback. But you know what? Hey, I don't see anything wrong with that personally because you're engaging an actual human being over there. Then it goes on to say, some people will feel relief. Yes. A lot of us, those who are not reliant, I would say the older generation knows if you're a 90s kid, you're definitely going to feel relief. You're going to be like, oh, I'm used to this. This is where I used to live. This ain't nothing new. This actually feels good. I can go outside, smell some fresh air, and actually enjoy life like it used to be. But others will not know what to do with it. That's actually true. You're going to see a lot of kids in high school, a lot of these younger generational kids, they're not going to know what to do. And then it goes on to say businesses relying on social media ads or communication will definitely take a big hit. And that's just on day 2. Okay. Now, we all know marketing is a big thing. Social media is basically almost free marketing for a lot of these businesses, but that's definitely going to take a big hit. But it's 3 days. Dude, breathe. And then it goes on to highlight a brutal truth there underneath day 2. And it says a lot of people realize their personality online doesn't translate well offline. That's a big one. That one hit me because I've always said that the real problem now is that we pick this up and now this is our personality. And it's sad. To me, that's sad. You can call me a boomer or whatever you want, but the reality is I'm just a human being, just like you are. Same functions, same mechanics, same everything. But there's a difference, the level of resilience. That's definitely what is different. And I can easily go up to my son, who's a teenager, and I tell him, dude, I'm built differently. I can go without this for a day. I can go without this for 2 days. In fact, I'll feel a relief by that, like it says. It's just sad that kids nowadays, or a lot of people nowadays, this is their personality. You take this, now they feel like they're just a blank sheet of paper. What do I do? What do I do? And that's just day 2, guys. Let's go on now. Day 3. All right. This is where it gets really interesting. It even emphasizes that right there. All right. So in day 3, it says this is where people now are going to get, according to Skynet, this is where people are going to get split into 2 groups. All right. You're going to have a group A, which primarily is going to consist of most people. And people are basically going to start finding substitutes. Okay. That means group texting, YouTube, Reddit, TV, news websites, literally anything, any kind of website that they can get some kind of stimulus from that doesn't allow them to engage with an actual human being, any type of physical social reaction or interaction, I should say. So pull up this, start Googling websites, doing something, some kind of mechanism to keep this in front of their face and literally give them their fix. That's the first group, all right? Still avoiding silence and reflection. That's the one big thing. If there's ever a challenge you want to do, challenge yourself. Just sit in silence. Pick up a book. turn off the TV, turn off the screens, pick up a book, sit in silence, sit with your thoughts, sit with reflection, reflect on all that you achieve, reflect on all that you want to achieve, lay down those goals, pick out a pen and paper and just write stuff down. I always said, if you can do that, then you're good. You got that mental toughness to kind of carry you through. But if you can't do that, then now you're officially what we call in the military a dependa. Yeah, you are a dependa because you're dependent on something or a source to keep you going. And that's not a nickname you want. You don't want to be identified as a dependa. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Okay. Then now there's the other group, Group B. All right. Now this is a smaller group. This is where certain individuals are going to start to think clearer. They're going to start to realize priorities, real priorities. They're going to start to identify, like I always say, identify your circles. You're going to identify what really matters and what you really have control of. And you're going to really kind of dial it in. And that's something that's important. Additionally, this group will also be less comparison, less outrage, less emotional volatility. So that means you're going to realize that all that anxiety and stress that you got spun up on a daily basis because of what you saw in here doesn't exist anymore. Now, real life, bills, groceries, workouts, sitting down, doing homework with your kids, pursuing new goals, dialing in new plans. You're going to get a sense of clarity from that. And you're going to be, it also says, more present in real life. Man, that's huge. More present in real life. Guys, I have continuously said that one of the most important leadership characteristics for personal leadership is the power in presence. And there are multiple forms of presence, but just being present. Think about that. Engage in those conversations. Ask somebody how they're doing. Ask your kid, ask your family, ask your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, whoever in your circle, and really value that circle and ask, hey, how are you doing? Hey, what's the plan? What's your short-term goal? What's your long-term goal? What experiences, what can you offer to help that achieve? There's so much more that you can gain. There's a certain level of clarity that it says that you're going to gain from that. And that it's sad that only a small group is going to gain that. It also has a special emphasis note that the divide definitely becomes obvious. So you're going to be able to see the difference between the two groups and people who use social media versus people who are used by it. Now that is huge. And that's day 3. So in day 3, you're going to identify those that literally just use social media, use it, mark it, get by, maybe hit up some friends, kind of stay in tune. And then there's those that are used by this, controlled by it. Literally, it's their way of life. And that's what's sad. That's what's sad. And that is literally what Skynet says is going to happen in day 1, day 2, and day 3 of a social media blackout. There is a brutal part that I asked for, all right? And I'm going to read the points that it highlight there, all right? Now, here's the brutal truth. The brutal truth of that question is a lot of people would realize that they're lonelier than they thought. They rely on social media for validation. They don't have strong offline connections, and they don't know how to sit still without stimulation. Those are the 4 main points that are good. That is of the brutal truth of what would happen if America went through a social media blackout. Now, why do you think I asked this? Well, because if you guys have known me, all right, I've always identified that there is a lack of personal leadership in this country today. And a lot of it, though, is due to the increase of just bumper stickers, doom scrolling, the lack of personality. You know, a lot of people don't really know who they are. A lot of people don't even know what their purpose is. And they think that their purpose is literally divulged literally in this little screen that they carry with them everywhere. And it's now a part of them. I've seen people literally freak out the moment something happens to their phone, or it gets lost, or it gets stolen or broken. I mean, literally freak out to the point where even if they can't afford it, they're going to do whatever it takes to get a phone and get it connected so they themselves feel connected. When that's not the truth. That's not what humans, that's not part of our primal instincts. It's not part of our natural instincts in this world. And we're kind of taken away from that. And that connection that is through a screen, that's not a valid connection. And going through a social media blackout is when you're going to have that reality. It's going to smack you in the face, and it's going to be quick. And there's only going to be two groups. The group that uses social media will be fine, but the group that is used by social media, it's going to be a different story. And I don't even know what would happen or how. Man, it's pretty crazy to think about. I definitely want to know your thoughts, guys. So comment down below. What do you think would happen if there was a social media blackout in the United States for 3 days? What do you think would happen? Would it be utter chaos, or would it be actually what we need? Would it be a moment of clarity for everybody? I'm curious to know. And I think this is something that is needed personally. All right, here's where I'm going to leave my 2 cents. I think it's needed. Why? Because right now we live in a time where these screens are literally just giving us noise. And that noise has a result, and that result is literally going down paths that are not productive at all. Not productive to us as humans, not productive to us as a society, not productive to us personally. It doesn't gain other than it just gives us stress and anxiety that we don't need, nor do we even have control. And that's the problem. Control what we can't control. That's literally all we should worry about. So, social media clarity, I'm with it. Give us that blackout. You know, other countries like China, Russia, they regulate their social media in their countries, you know, and there's a reason why they do that. You know, there's other countries right now. I just read an article in Europe, you know, there's Switzerland. I think you guys can fact check me on this, but literally Switzerland, or was it Sweden? But they're literally taking tablets and screens out of the classroom now. And they're going back to the old school method of just books, pen and paper, pencil and paper, calculators, and that's it. Because they realize that the tablets are literally leading to a decrease in cognitive understanding and IQ. There's literally an IQ deficiency, like the IQ is literally decreasing in those countries because of the increase of usage in tablets and all that noise that's being flooded. So it's something to think about. And if these countries are jumping on that, I mean, I think, hey, it's only a matter of time before we jump on that bandwagon as well. And when it comes, are we going to be surprised, or are we going to be prepared? That's the big thing. And that's what we should think about. All right, guys. I mean, that's really all I wanted to cover today, but I am curious what you guys think. You know, do you think we need a social media blackout in America? Or do you think everything's fine the way it is and we need something else? I want to know your thoughts. So please engage me on this. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, team, don't let the noise cloud your thought process. Don't let it manipulate your actions. Focus on what you can control and continue to find comfort in your chaos. And I'll see you on the next video.